Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name of the one true God, and Yahweh Shai is the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. And I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to send salutations to all the Akim throughout the four corners of the earth, exalting the name of Yahweh and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, in truth and in sincerity. Alright, so this lesson is going to be about the wheat and the tares. Alright, and you can see right here the wheat and the tares. Alright, the wheat is basically what you want to reap. All right, it's basically what you want to pick. All right, the tares look exactly like the wheat, but they're completely different. All right, got the tares. They both look similar, but they're just different. All right, tares, they look like bushes or whatever, but it's the wheat. It's what's profitable. All right. So basically, when you go out to the field and you're fielding and you're getting your wheat, but you also are picking up tares too. And when you do go through your batch, you got to go through it and get the wheat that you want, and then you throw away the tare. All right. You have to be able to decipher the difference between the two. All right. When you are going through your harvest. All right. And we're going to go into this parable of the wheat and the tares. All right. Because it's talking about the people, the nations of people. That's what the parable is about. All right. Matthew's 13:24. And it says, in another parable, put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man that sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, the enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat, and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. All right, so when he went out to his field, he went cutting into his harvest, and he ended up getting mixed in with the wheat, the tares. All right, and notice that it said the enemy. All right, the enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat. All right, it says, verse 27, so the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From which then hath it tares? He said unto them, An enemy hath done this. The servant said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. But both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, Gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat unto my barn. All right. So basically, when you do gather them up together, you're going to separate them. All right. So it's basically saying you're going to separate the tares from the wheat, even though they were together and they look the same, but there's only one that you need. Just like when the Lord said in Matthew 9, or sorry, Romans the 9th chapter, he made a vessel to honor and one to dishonor. All right, speaking about the other nations, specifically the nation of Edom. The nation of Edom is a dishonorable nation, and the one that is unto honor is the nation of Jacob, which is the Israelites. All right. So the tares are basically the other nations, or the heathens, and the wheat are the Israelites, and they were put together with us. All right. And it says, well, that's going to, well, we're gonna leave it at that. All right. But basically, that's what it's talking about. The enemy came and put the tares with the wheat. All right. And this is why in the Bible it talks about us not mixing and us not giving our daughters unto the heathen, because then that's how you become an enemy. All right. When you basically give your daughters over to the heathen to bring forth their seed and to mix family lines. All right. And when you bring the enemy in to basically your nation, all right, when you start mixing together with these other nations, you bring forth confusion. All right, because then you can't tell who is who. All right, because we all trace our lineage back through our father. And if you are an Israelite woman and you have an Edomite husband, his seed goes into you. You bring forth his seed, and that child's going to trace back his lineage to his father. That is basically how you sow tares among the wheat, because now you're bringing confusion. All right. So I'll give an example of that. All right, wheat and the tares. This is Lionel Richie's daughter. Now we know Lionel Richie was one of the singers in the Commodores. He's a so-called black man, but he had a baby with a white woman, and you see the way his daughter looks. She looks like a so-called white woman, but she's of the seed of her father. All right, so she would be an Israelite. All right, because of the seed of her father. All right, then you got this girl right here who looks like she would be from one of the 12 tribes. All right, maybe Dominican, or whatever. But she's a tare. All right, this is her father. All right, her mother is a so-called black woman. All right, then you look at this guy right here, NBA player for the Knicks. I don't even think he played for the Knicks no more. But this is him, and his father, and then his mother. So he would be an Israelite. All right. So there's these examples. And then you got more examples here of this chick on Instagram. Look at her and then look at her father. All right. She looked like a black woman, but she's an Edomite. All right. Now this is how you let the enemy come in and sow tares among the wheat. So now you would bring a person like this into your camp, and she being the enemy, because she's of the seed of the enemy. All right. You are who your father is. All right. That's how we trace back our lineage. All right. It's Numbers 1:18. It says, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, by their polls. And you can see the definition of pedigree is the recorded ancestry, especially upper class ancestry, of a person or family. All right. So this is how you keep track of your family tree and lineage. All right. It is through the ancestry. All right. That's why it talks about Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, said that he's of the seed of David. And what nation is David from? The tribe of Judah. What nation is Yahushua from? The tribe of Judah. Okay? And then he goes deeper into that. But we're going to leave it at that. All right? So, yeah. So that's basically the tares and the wheat. All right. And, you have to, try the spirit. All right. Because we don't know who is who in the spirit. That's why we have to try it. 1 John 4:1. Let me see. Is it 4:1? Yeah. It says, beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirit whether they be of God, because many false prophets are gone out unto the world. Hereby know ye the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Yahushua Mashiach is come in the flesh is of God. So that's why we have to try the spirit, because the only true way we'll know if truly anybody is an Israelite is if they come into this thing and they call on the name of the Lord and they teach and they keep the high holy days and the holy days and the Sabbath, and they practice the righteous acts. All right, when they rehearse the righteous acts, that's how you know, because an enemy wouldn't come in and do this. They can't. It's just not going to happen. All right, the Lord is not just going to allow anybody in to this house, to this gathering. All right, the other nations, they were trying to build with us back in the day. You can't build with us now. No matter what. You had the GOCC at one point. They had Edomites in their church. That's because they believe that their doctrine is that Edomites can be saved, which they cannot. But they let them in to their church, but that church was not built on solid foundation. It was built on sand. You don't even hear from them niggas no more. So you can't come into this thing. You can't creep in another way. You just can't. Spirit won't allow it. All right. So one moment. Con, but that's my lesson. Hopefully this lesson was edifying. And I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.